Kwa majina naitwa Esther Emai, niko 17 years. Nimezaliwa Kibera, nimegrow Kibera, and I have a child with 4 years, and I'm in form 2. Na nikikuwa mkubwa nataka kuwa mwanajeshi.
Kibera is Nairobi's largest informal settlement. Survival is an everyday battle. For many young girls, dreams are buried beneath the weight of poverty, violence, and silence. But among the endless maze of rusted rooftops and narrow alleys, a woman named PAULINE AKINYI rose with a fire in her heart and a mission to be the voice she once never heard. PAULINE was born and raised in Kibera. She knows its noise, its chaos, and its quiet unspeakable pain. She was a young girl when her innocence was stolen through sexual violence, the kind of pain that society often forces girls to endure in silence.
I am the executive director and the founder REBIRTH of a Queen organization. And REBIRTH of a Queen organization is an organization that supports survivors of sexual violence and human trafficking, both in Kenya and in East Africa. And REBIRTH of a Queen is started as a personal story. I survived sexual violence, trauma, and also modern slavery as a teenager. When I was in high school, I was in Form 3, and I had a best friend. I love people. That is just my nature. I love people, I love friendship, and I loved education from the time I was very little. So my best friend got a child when she was still in school. And I was the one championing for her. Please, when the baby is grown, just go back to school. Even when the baby is 3 months, you just go back to school. Because I would really love to see my friend succeeding. But you know, at the end of the day, and I'm struggling. 14 years down the line, I'm always very struggling to say that my friend betrayed me. Because one morning, I was supposed to go back to school, to high school. I was in a boarding school, and I was with my friend, and my friend told me, is it okay we go help my brother wash clothes, and then after that, you'll go to school? That was a normal thing. That is what we used to do. Every time I came back from school, that is what we used to do. I didn't know that was the day I was being pushed to the abusers. Because that day, I went with my friend to the brother's house, and I felt I was pushed from the back. It has taken me years to actually accept that it is my friend who pushed me, and the person who defiled me, the first person, was the brother. And he is the one who said, tutakufanya ukae kama sister yangu, wendo unajifanya unajua kusoma. So it has taken me so much time to actually accept that I was betrayed by my friend. And I think even the silence for me was because I was not just comfortable to betray my friend by saying that it is my friend who pushed me into a den of these. I keep saying the brother was someone I knew very well. He was a big brother to us. But the other 3 men, no, these were strangers. These were very weird people. And I think that is what traumatized me for a very long time.
Despite her trauma, despite the weight of being a single mother of 3, PAULINE chose not to let her past define her. She founded REBIRTH of a Queen, an organization built not from wealth or power, but from pain transformed into purpose.
By the time I was 19, I was in my first marriage. Not because I actually wanted to get married. When you go back, I was a child who had my own dreams, but at 19, I was in a marriage because I wanted to see if this man had destroyed me at the age of 16. But it turned out to be a very abusive relationship of my life, because by the time I was walking out with a lot of mental illness, I would say that. But you know, for those 7 years when I was silent, I learned to be resilient. But sometimes I keep saying I was resilient in the wrong way, because I did the perfect work of hiding my pain with a very beautiful smile. And you know, you're born in Kibra, so you have to be strong, and Kibra does not give you an opportunity to be a softie. Kibra teaches you to always rise up and bounce back. I think that is what I've done in my life so far. I keep saying my life has been falling down, rising up, bouncing, and keep going. So before starting REBIRTH of a Queen, I was training girls modeling. I love catwalking. I love being on the runway. I think that is also one of my healing mechanism. And I was training girls, and I was reminding myself that one day I'm going to create a space where survivors can just be themselves. And from 2018, I took it upon myself to create that community. And in 2019, we launched Rebirth of a Queen organization, and I only had one hope: to create a safe space for survivors to thrive, you know, without being judged, without someone asking you what were you dressed on that day, without someone actually, and this is something I do so intentionally, without someone telling a boy or a girl, a boy or a man, you're not supposed to cry. So for me, I wanted to create a safe space for survivors.
Rebirth of a Queen has become a sanctuary for survivors of gender-based violence, GBV, and human trafficking, a place where silence is broken, where healing begins, where queens are reborn.
Currently, Rebirth of a Queen is based in Kajiado. But here in Kajiado, we work with, apparently Kajiado these days is very cosmopolitan, so you get everyone in Kajiado. And for the Skills Training Center, we work with young people from age 17 to 25. Those are the people we are targeting in terms of offering skills, because one of the reasons why young people actually get trafficked is because of work. They are in the country, they are unemployed, you come from a very vulnerable background, and any opportunity that comes to you, you just go. You won't even think about it. Where we are at the moment, our shelter rescues people from all over the country. So we don't rescue people only from Kajiado, but from all over the country and even across border East Africa. What brings me happiness, number one, is the fact that I am always sure that I have the power to heal within me. If I choose to forgive, that is the power I have to heal. And let me say, the dreams I hear almost every Saturday, yeah, they'll randomly remind me to call them by their career. You know, they'll decide one day to wake up and tell you, Mom Pauline, today I want you to start my name with lawyer. Call me lawyer so-and-so. Call me doctor so-and-so. And I tell them that as their mother, I'm just an African mother, you know. They want to go to Harvard, I'll be there the day they graduate to dance as an African mother, you know. That is what keeps me going every single day.
Beyonce Nzisa is a fighter who found her wings through Rebirth of a Queen organization. She has found safety, received trauma counseling, and vocational training. Today, she is more than grateful to Pauline.
I came at Rebirth of a Queen. I'm from Kibra because she offered to give me support so that I can go to school. I remember we met 2020 and tulikuwa kwa Chips Festival, and she said that this girl nimempenda, like she can come to my shelter, though ilikuwa ndo imeanza, and yeah, na hivyo nilikuja. For now, like nimekaa for 5 years. When I stay with my family, some of them, okay, actually my dad didn't accept me as his daughter, though like even the other family, only my mom, and though anajua ako rich sana, he can't associate with my life. So in Rebirth of a Queen, I feel I'm loved. Yeah, that's the point.
Damaris and Esther share more than a similar journey. Both were teenage girls when they became mothers. Their stories are tied to violence, neglect, and abandonment. In a world that judged them, Pauline's organization embraced them.
I used to stay with my mom na stepdad, na hapo like mama alikuwa anaona mtu important ni stepfather kushinda mimi mtoto wake. Yes, tuko 4 girls, but I was the only child mwenye alikuwa anaishi na yeye. Wengine kila mtu alikuwa anaishi na babake. So nikiishi hapo, like my mama alikuwa ananitesa, mambo ilikuwa inaenda hapo. So mimi nikajiamulia, nikatoroka. Tulikuwa tunaishi Kibera, nikaenda Huruma. Kwenda Huruma hapo like sikukuwa na mtu naishi na yeye. So mimi nilikuwa naishi kwa street na watu wa street, so nilikuwa na smoke bangi, na kunywa pombe. Hapo nilikuwa nimeacha shule class 7. So life ilikuwa easy. Hadi nilikuwa nadunga hadi cocaine. So hapo ndio nilipata mimba. So sijui ni nani alinipea mimba, sijui ni nani babake huyo mtoto. So vile mimi ilikuwa imefika 6 months juu mimi niliona tumbo tuka inafura. Mimi nikafikiria maybe ninakula huku hivi kwa street chakula chafu ndio maana. Kwenda hospitali nikaambiwa niko pregnant 6 months. So hivyo nikaona huko maisha si rahisi, nikarudi Kibra, but sikujua mali mamangu aliama akaenda kuishi. So ikanibidi tu nilikuwa naishi hivi natembea tu kwa street. Nikapatana na wazungu pia walikuwa wanatembea kwa reli. Wakaniita, wakaniongelesha, wakaniambia wako na safe house in a place called Ngumo. Wakanipatia namba, wakaniambia kama ninaweza wish kwenda wanisaidie nipige hiyo namba, kisha wakaenda. So mimi nikakaa nikajiuliza, yes, watu wametoka from now wamekuja kunisaidia, mbona nisiwatafute? Nikaenda kwa duka nikaomba simu, nikawapigia, wakanipea direction, nikaenda. Na kwenda huko ulikuwa unaitishwa kama uko over 18 unaitishwa ID, kama uko under 18 upeleke barua ya chief, upeleke hiyo report kwa umechukuliwa. But sasa mimi sikuwa na mtu mwenye atasaini hizo vitu zote. Mimi nikawaelezea, wakanichukua tu hivyo. So wakanilea hadi nikazaa mtoto. Wakiniuliza mamangu wako wapi, hadi namba yake sikuwa najua. So mimi nikapeana location mahali ya mwisho tulikuwa tunaishi na mamangu. Yeye akapigiwa simu, sijui vile alipata namba yake, akapigiwa simu. Hiyo time mtoto alikuwa 6 months. Si mamangu akakuja, akajifanya mzuri kabisa, akanichukua, tukaenda tukaishi na yeye. Hapo hakukuwa anaishi tena na stepdad. Mimi kukaa like something like 1 month. Kukakuja tena na baba mwingine, si yule tulikuwa naye. So huyo naye alikuwa mbaya kabisa. Vile nilikuwa nimeenda shule, kulikuwa na organization yenye tulikuwa naendanga kushona. Nikamwambia mtu, mimi mama ameniacha peke yangu na siwezi kaa kwa nyumba hiyo peke yangu, mimi siwezi lipa rent na ndio ninafaa kwenda shule, ndio mtoto sijui nani atakaa naye. Akaniambia basi ikifika on Friday usiende shule, kuna mali nafaa kukupeleka. Wewe tu bebe nguo zako, beba mtoto na nguo ya mtoto. Mimi nikafanya vile aliniambia, akanileta kwa PAULINE. Kwa PAULINE hiyo time nilikuwa sasa nimefika class 8. Nikakuja kwa PAULINE, nikakaa kwa nyumba 1 week, akanipeleka shule class 8 juu nilikuwa nisha register exam. So akanipeleka shule, mimi nikaendelea kusoma, mtoto wangu akatunzwa tu vizuri.
Hii time nimekuja kukaa na aunti yangu Nairobi Kare. Shule imekuwa mbali because shule iko Kiambu. Then nimefika class 7 class 7. Then I had to walk because kuna time tunatoka shule late and barabara hiyo sometimes because they have other kids they have to take them. So I preferred sometimes walking. So this watchman who was next to my aunt compound ambao Adventure Farm. Kila time nikipita jioni he is like mtu anakuangalia, then like mimi simjui, like mtu anakuangalia, mtu anakuchunguza. So nikajiambia mimi ni sawa, I will not be afraid because nikaanza kuenda. So one of the day nikitoka shule mimi sikuwa najua. One of the day nikitoka shule I don't know what alikuwa na intention yake because mimi nimemzoea kumpata nje. So because I greeted him na kienda because ni jirani. So this time around nikikuja hakuna mtu hapo nje and it was almost 7. And then kuna kona iko hapo and then kupita nasikia mtu kwa shingo na kisu. So I was like ni nani? Singeweza kuscream because mahali tunaishi hakuna watu wengi and then hata ukiscream hakuna. So mimi nikasikia wewe nyamaza, or what you going to do, you are going to kill me. So me I had to keep quiet. Ndio akanipush up to hizo nyimbo anakanga hapo nje. He did what he did and then akaniambia if you dare to tell your aunt or any one of you I'm going to kill them. Jana tokanga job late sana kutoka kwa kampuni yao. So mimi nikajambia because I love them hakuna haja nyamaza. So every time nikipita kutoka shule ananikumbusha and then I had to keep quiet until nikafika maza class almost finish class 7. One of the time nikafint shule, then my aunt was like ajipeleke hospitali amezoea, nikifika huko nitalipiwa. But kwenda I did not know because nilienda nikapimwa nikaambiwa kuja na mzazi. So nikamwambia daktari hakuna vile mom alitoka job akuja ndio achukue results, uniambia what is it. Nikamwambia 5 month pregnancy. So nikajiambia hapa because I love them na sitaki mahali wataumia, so me I decided to kill myself working. Okay, wanipe results, nikajiambia none of them are going to reach home, so hakuna results nipeleka nyumbani, nilizitupa. Kama za class 7, then my aunt was like, mtoto hizi kaa hapa peke yake because wanaogopa nikibaki kwa nyumba hata mida hakuna kitu ataniambia. So walinitafutia mahali panaitwa Kiota, where only teenagers girls ambao wako pregnant wako. So I went there, nikakaa. Singeweza kujoin class 8 someone because me I choose ni better nizae mtoto wangu kwanza ndio nirudi shule. And then ndio nikaenda nikakaa huko nikajifungua, and then kujifungua hiyo mama kafanya kazi kwa ndio akanitafutia huko.
Through Rebirth of a Queen, beneficiaries receive not just emotional support, but the practical tools to build a life, access to education, parenting support, and small business training. Today, they are no longer victims, but mothers with dreams and the power to chase them.
Right now, the main sustainability program that we have is the leather. So we've really we make very good products. Let me start by that. And we've really gotten a very good client base that supports the leather production, but we are also intending to grow our sustainability as an organization. In the shelter, we are intending to start a farm so that the shelter is able to sustain itself. And the skills training center, we're intending now to transition to a training institute where we can offer our services to the community who can pay for it, but also be very intentional about the vulnerable young people who cannot support themselves get the skills. Because that, at the end of the day, we keep saying our vision remains a community free of sexual violence and human trafficking.
Even with the inevitable challenges, Pauline is grateful for the support she receives from the community.
People don't fund shelters because people feel like a shelter is a consuming project. It just consumes. It does not give you impact within 1 year. And sometimes when I have a conversation with someone who wants to support Rebirth of a Queen, I tell them, I've done this work for the last 6 years. And I've seen impact that you can only be there when you walk. You can only see it when you walk this journey with the girls or you walk this journey with us. So sometimes that limits us even from getting the resources to run the shelter, because the shelter, it's like running your own home. The girls have to eat, the children have to eat. It has to be a balanced diet. I do not intend to bring children to put them somewhere and not give them the best. And then the shelter, one of my intentions from day one has always been to run a standard shelter, a space where it's a safe space. And I think one of the things that we have grown with is our strategy as an organization. I think this journey started with Pauline. Right now we are a team of 7 people. We have worked each other into the system of ensuring we are safeguarding the lives of survivors. We are also protecting them. I think the other challenge that we faced is security. Sometimes when our location is leaked, we get very, I call it uninvited guests who will want to break in. And also security in terms of, that is why I told you we don't do legal and we also don't rescue girls, just to protect ourselves, because sometimes when the perpetrator marks you, they'll go after you. And then you don't want to lose your life because you're protecting other people. So I think we've navigated ways where we protect ourselves and also just protect our identities and even protect the shelter. Yeah. So many times I always want to be behind the scene. Yeah. Because our work is I call our work sacred. You know, we deal with the survivor one-on-one, ensuring they're better people. And sometimes when you show the perpetrator you're not doing legal, they're like, you're least of our problem. We do not have a law that protects shelters in this country, so you ought to look for your own safeguarding mechanism as an organization. So for us, we are known as an organization that focuses on empowerment. But when it comes to children, I think this community is used to me right now. We do not negotiate. When it comes to children, we do not negotiate about the safety of a child. Children have to be protected. And I've gotten people who have supported me. I've gotten chiefs from the Maasai community that tell me this person wants to sell this child to marriage. Pauline, come and do this. And they're embracing it day by day. I've gotten fathers who are actually supporting their daughters who are in the shelters to go back to school, to sit with them and have a conversation with them. And each and every single day, I feel like the community is growing. Now to the larger community, let me say Rebirth of a Queen has been blessed to have people who celebrate their birthdays in the shelter, who just sit down and say, let us take Wunga to Rebirth of a Queen, wasichana wakule. And for me, that has given me the hope that I'm not doing this work alone. And I tell people, it actually takes a village to raise a survivor. It has taken a village to raise me as Pauline. People who just randomly call me and remind me that, Pauline, you're doing it right. People who heal me, people who sometimes pay my therapy. And that is the same mentality we have in Rebirth of a Queen, that it takes a village. So for all the people who have come up to support the girls even beyond what I do.
Perhaps the most striking thing about Pauline AKINYI is her smile. It is not the smile of someone who has lived an easy life, but the smile of someone who has survived the storm and is now building rafts for others still caught in it.
Rebirth of a Queen is growing to be a certified training institute in Kenya. And I think one of the things we're not going to lose is to become a survivor-centric. I don't think we will never lose survivor-centric approach, ensuring everything that we do is survivor-centric and the life of the survivor is put first. Number two, our dream is to have 5 Rebirth of a Queen centers in the whole country, so that we are able to support survivors even in different counties without them having to travel to where we are. Yeah, and just travel with the girls to see how their vision is going to unfold. When they become doctors, I'll be there to celebrate. When they'll become lawyers and journalists, when they'll become very great people in this country, I'll be here to celebrate. And also, one of the weirdest dreams I have is one day to have a president in this country who's a survivor. And it's not because we want survivors to look so cool, but sometimes I feel like until when we will have the right people in the policy and decision-making spaces, then these cases will start being serious.
Pauline's story is not just hers. It is the story of every girl silenced by shame, every woman broken by violence, and every mother abandoned by a system that should have protected her. But most importantly, it is a story of what happens when one woman chooses to rise and lift others with her.
I just say thank you very much. Yani sijui ninaweza mpatia nini yenye anaweza feel kweli niko so grateful na kitu amenifanyia, but nasema thank you sana. Mungu ambariki na Mungu amjazie neema, endelee kusaidia watu wengi.
I can tell her thank you because definitely she had built courage in some of us. She have enabled us to go back to school, and right now is at least at ukienda kwa society, you know how to defend other girls. Like what I passed through, I did not siwezi tamani msichana mwingine apitie. So she's building us, she's telling us we're beautiful because she's recognizing everything that we need in our lives, and she's catering for us. So we just say thank you, and she just continue the same spirit. And at one day or one time, she was going to run it anymore. We are the one going to run it.
Kenyans have had Rebirth of a Queen at their hearts. You know, supporting Rebirth of a Queen by celebrating their birthdays. We have Shofco organization. They really come for us. Like Kennedy Odede, I've been his champion from day one, supporting me, holding my hands and reminding me that no one is ever going to give me power. And MasterCard Foundation, who have walked with us this journey and even supported us come up with a skills training center. And Talitha Kum organization, it's an international organization, but they've always made us understand human trafficking from an aspect of the little things that we do. So those are our greatest partner, and the community. Our skills training center is 70-30, so 70% is given to the young women, because for us we acknowledge that women, girls and children are so much vulnerable to violence. But again, we have the 30% for young men to just come and go through the training. And also I encourage a lot of young men to start something, and we're here to champion for it.
If you want to support survivors of gender-based violence, GBV, and trafficking in Kenya, consider supporting organizations like Rebirth of a Queen, because every queen deserves a second chance at life.
one of the lessons that I carry with me, that if I don't speak my voice, then the perpetrators will shift the narrative to a way that it will impress them, you know? They'll say that I enjoyed the pain and I'm not enjoying it. So I have learned to speak my voice even when it is shaking. Even when I feel so scared, I will still shout to get help. And as my mother reminds me every day, that a closed mouth can never be fed.